Hello everyone, my name is Rushabh Khara and today I'll be giving presentation for MITS seminar on two of my elective courses and I'll be uh, giving my key learnings and what I learned from that particular two courses. So the first course was Special Topics in AI Trust Systems. What is trust? Trust in IT security refers to confidence and belief that individuals and organizations place in the effectiveness, reliability, and integrity of the information technology security measures and systems. So what comes after trust? It's regret, counterfactual thinking, and forgiveness. Regret. Regret allows an action or happening to be looked upon as negative and further allows the actors or observers to reinforce behaviors or associated feelings or emotions to ensure that the likelihood of such a thing happening again is reduced. It is therefore a powerful motivational force in interaction with others. Further, because it can have an effect on trust, it is necessary to study, formalize, and concentrize regret to extent that it becomes a computational tool similar to the current status of trust. Types of regret. First, anticipatory regret. This type of regret occurs when a person feels remorse or disappointment before taking action, usually because they anticipate negative consequences. Second, inaction regret. Inaction regret refers to feeling or remorse or disappointment that arise from not taking a certain course of action when it was possible to do so. Third, action regret. Action regret occurs when a person feels remorse or disappointment after taking a specific action because they believe it led to negative outcomes. Outcome regret. Outcome regret is experienced when someone feels remorse or disappointment about the results or consequences of their action. So in this slide, I'll be talking about the definition given by Kahneman and Tversky of trust. Kahneman and Tversky were two prominent psychologists who conducted extensive research on human decision making and cognitive biases. The action effect, which was given by these two scientists, describes a phenomenon in which people regret actions leading to negative outcomes more than they do in actions leading to the same negative outcomes. For example, consider a person choosing between two job offers. They may choose a stable but less fulfilling job over a more risky but potential more rewarding one because they fear regretting the decision if the riskier job does not work out. In this case, the fear of future regret heavily influences the decision making process. The next is counterfactual thinking. Counterfactual thinking is a cognitive process in which individuals mentally stimulate or imagine alternative scenarios to events that have already occurred. It involves considering what if situations and imagining how different choices or actions could have led to alternative outcomes. In essence, it is a form of mental time travel where people reflect on the past and explore different possibilities to understand how things might have been different. The last, forgiveness. Forgiveness referred to the concept of allowing or accepting certain security related actions or events, even if they deviate from strict security policies or protocols. It involves showing leniency or understanding in certain circumstances, especially when there are valid justifications or mitigating factors for the security breach or non compliance. For instance, forgiveness might be applied in situations where an employee unknowingly violates a security policy due to lack of awareness or training, or when an external actor exploits a previously unknown vulnerability that could not have been reasonably anticipated. So, what are the advantages of forgiveness? Forgiveness in IT security can have several benefits, including encouraging a learning culture by forgiving honest mistakes. Organizations promote a culture where employees are encouraged to report security incidents and learn from their errors, leading to improved security awareness and practices. Fostering trust. When employees know that Management considers context and intent before taking punitive actions. They are more likely to trust the organization's security policies and procedures, avoiding unnecessary strain on resources. In some cases, pursuing disciplinary actions for minor security lapses might divert valuable time and resources from addressing more critical security threats, retaining valuable personnel. Being overly punitive for unintentional security lapses may lead to talent turnover, whereas forgiveness help retain skilled employees who are committed to improving their security practices. So my final project was on dissemination of misleading political news and propaganda. Analyzing this comprehensive report on misleading political news and propaganda provided me with a nuanced understanding of this complex issue plaguing democracies worldwide. I gained insight into the distinct categories of false information, including misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation, as well as the multifaceted drivers that enable their proliferation through social media and other digital programs. The report eliminated specific techniques like emotional manipulation, conspiracy theories, and, and foreign interference campaigns that allow fake news and propaganda to shape public opinion and influence election outcomes. Personally, I learned how such content can undermine critical thinking, fuel polarization, diminish trust in media, and hamper policy debates, posing a major threat to social cohesion and governance. The proposed solution of fact-checking system, transparency in algorithms, media literacy programs, and AI content analysis represent important steps to stem that crisis. The depth of this report reinforced my appreciation that combating fake news requires a multi-pronged approach engaging government, tech companies, academia, journalists, and citizens. So, my key takeaway from this project was the importance of critically evaluating sources, thinking independently, and fostering transparent ethical journalism practices to combat the proliferation of misleading content. Engaging with this material has strengthened my understanding of the gravity of misinformation campaigns and motivated me to be a more discerning consumer of news and civic participant. So, talking about the second subject, which was special topics in IT management, cybercrime, I learned a lot of things on this course, and I'll highlight some of the main topics of this course. So, first one is understanding cybercrime prevalence, measurement, issues, and cost. The first section of the course examined the prevalence and cost associated with cybercrimes. We review major cyber attacks in the news, such as ransomware campaigns impacting critical infrastructure like hospitals and colonial pipeline operations. The second, cyber law ethics, hacking versus cracking. The next portion of the course covers the legal foundation and ethical dimensions of cybersecurity. We examine key US cybercrimes law like Computer Fraud and Abuse Act and analogous Canadian cyber laws. Tension around issues like authorized access and hacking versus password crackings are debated. Applying criminological framework, we also evaluate hacker motivation spanning ethical ideals of information freedom to criminal greed and power. Differing perspectives like black hat crackers, white hat hackers, and grey hat hacktivists are compared to highlight the ethical complexities. Third, hacker motivations and methods. Building on the ethics discussion, we dive deeper into analyzing notorious hacker cases from the past and present. Fourth, escalating cost, cyber insurance, and data sharing risk. Using major cyber incidents as case studies, we examine the escalating financial toll of cyber risk. Both direct and indirect costs like business disruption, recovery efforts, and reputational damage are analyzed. Fifth, ransomware threats and recoveries. Given the major real world impacts of ransomware, the course dedicates a section to unraveling ransomware attacks and resilience strategies. 6. Copyright infringement and file sharing networks. Shifting focus, we then discuss copyright infringement issues stemming from illegal file sharing and peer-to-peer networks. We outline the copyright law and principles before analyzing landmark cases like the shutdown of Napster and lawsuits against individual file sharers. Seventh, the dark web and organized crime. This topic was our project topic. So we differentiate the dark web from deep web before tracing the takedown of online underground marketplace like Silk Road and Alphabet and etc. etc. I'll be talking more about the project in the next slide. Eighth, cyber threats to national security. The final topical section evaluates cyber risk to national security interest and critical infrastructure. We categorize state-sponsored cyber warfare campaigns, activist attacks by non-state actors, and political cyber terrorism scenarios. The last, developing cybercrime solution. To conclude, students synthesize their knowledge to propose solution encompassing technology innovation, legal reform, policy changes, diplomacy, and promoting cyber ethics. So, talking about my project, it was on the organized cybercrime, cyber organized criminal world, the dark web, and the call for more effective protections. The report has in-depth examination of how cybercriminals and organized crime groups are leveraging the dark web and cryptocurrencies to carry out illegal activities as unprecedented scale. The report initially explains the difference between the surface web, dark web, and deep web. The dark web is anonymous network accessed via special software like Tor, which hides user identity and activity. The report also dives into workings of malware, particularly banking trojans like Kronos, ransomware developer groups like REvil that offer ransomware as a service. By exploiting vulnerabilities, these programs can infiltrate systems, steal sensitive data, and encrypt files for extortion. The financial, operational, and reputational impact of this dark web crimes on business, government agencies, and society is massive. The report emphasizes the extreme challenges faced by law enforcement in investigating dark web activities. So, in summary, the report provides a comprehensive overview of the organized criminal exploitation of dark web, drawing on real world cases. It highlights the gravity of this threat landscape and critical necessity of robust global collaboration and cyber preparedness to counter it effectively. So this was it from my side. Uh, I learned a lot from these two elective courses, especially the cybercrime subject was favorite for me. Uh, Thank you guys. Thank you for hearing me out.